Hey everybody, this is Teo, the blind bassist. Welcome back to my channel. And on today's video, my first shot at giving an online music lesson, so stay tuned. Well, welcome back to my channel, everybody. This is Teo, the blind bassist. Love playing upright bass, and it definitely has its challenges. So one of the biggest challenges with playing the upright bass, of course, is intonation. No frets on this big puppy, so playing in tune is definitely a challenge that we all face. Recently, I just joined a Facebook group called Upright Bass Players Union, and in the one of the threads, somebody posted a good practice exercise when you don't have a bow. The bow by far will tell you if you're playing in tune. If you're playing with a bow, there's no hiding those notes. They sustain, and you'll definitely be able to check your intonation against any drone, which is usually suggested. So on this lesson, I have experience in this because there was a time when I first went blind. I couldn't afford a bow. I had lost a bow. So for many years, I had no bow. So I had to keep practicing intonation without a bow. So this is the method I would use. Instead of carrying around something that has drone strings, which is a very common thing to do, is get a drone string going and playing notes against that drone. Well, you already have 4 built-in drones right there on the bass. So what I do is, instead of just trying to find that pitch out of thin air and knowing if my G sharp is in tune, I'll try to make it sound good with the open string that is most consonant with it. So for the G sharp, of course, it's open E. Makes that major 10th, which is a very consonant interval. It's just like a major third, only an octave separating it. So notice I try to make sure my position is well suited for the first finger in half position. Then we'll try the A note, and then we'll match that against the open A. Making sure to keep the first finger in the position for the G sharp. Now let's check them both again. The reason I like to use an open string note is a lot of times it's easier to intonate a note if you're matching it against a chord. Now let's go to the B flat. For the B flat, I like to use an open D. That gives you a minor 6, but a major 6 is kind of inharmonic to a major third. So that's another pleasant interval. So that gives me my whole half position there. So, ooh, that was a lot. Once you get your half position sounding good, then I do a shift, a slight shift. So try to get mid. So to get your first finger intonated with the open A string, then your second finger. Then for the B note, I use my open E, get that fifth, and then check again. A little fair warning, I took a couple of years off playing upright when I first went blind. Had a little repair problem. The neck had come separated from the body right here at the seam, and I couldn't afford to get it fixed for several years, being on disability the first few years of my blindness. So I'm getting back into getting my chops back up from what they used to be. So let's continue on. We can do the shift here. Let's do a whole shift. Let's go ahead and you can see how this exercise works. So I'm gonna keep going up the neck. I'm gonna skip around a little bit. The hardest note on the G string to intonate, really, or to find a consonant pitch, is the D sharp. So what I'll do, by the time you get up to this position, you're checking your open E, against the E up here, and then you also would check your open D. So open D against the D, open E against the E, and I use the leading tone. Try to get that leading tone in tune. Then as we move towards thumb position, the shift up here, give you your F against the D, your F sharp. Also against the D, give you that major third. And then the octave I just tune against itself, the harmonic though. And then also, you can keep going up, position. It's way sharp on that G sharp. Flat against the D. E against the E. That minor third or 11th, whatever it is. All the way up. Etc., etc. Also works on any of the strings, so for my E flat in here, I'll use my open G. For my E, also an open G. So what you do when you want to keep in mind when you do this exercise is try to keep your positions very accurate, know exactly where you want to go. Like say for this shift, I'll go from the A note maybe to the C. Put my pinky on the D, right? See, my position there was slightly off. So practice it again. And eventually you do that a little bit every day. In fact, I start my day doing this. And that kind of gets me warmed up, gets my ear awake to try to hear the pitches in tune. The number one thing really is to work on your ear training for playing in tune on the upright bass. But that's a little exercise that uses the open strings as drones. That way you don't have to carry around a drone. And also, when you play with this more, you'll also notice that sympathetic string vibrations. Like whenever I play an A note, my open A string will actually vibrate. The more I'm in tune, the more it'll sympathetically vibrate. Better way to illustrate this is with the bow. So what I'll do is I'll start bowing my A note, and if you listen very carefully, I don't know if the mics are going to pick this up, but it'll make the open A vibrate sympathetically, and the more I'm in tune, the more the sympathetic string will vibrate. So I don't know if you can see that on camera, probably not. I can't see it because I'm legally blind. But if you notice, look closely, the A string will start vibrating if I'm playing that A. The more in tune, the more it vibrates. So a way to practice getting that vibration and listening and hearing it is play the note with the bow and kind of release it, deadening the string you just played, and then listening to the resonance that comes from the bass, the harmonic that rings out. You'll be able to hear that really well if it's in tune or not. But you have to be in a quiet room and you have to be listening very carefully. But it's another part of the same intonation exercise, really. Hear that open A ring out? It works best, of course, with the open string notes. To See, I can make that E ring really loud. See, I'm a little sharp. It doesn't ring as well. When I'm right on it, the closer I am, the more it rings. So it's another thing to practice when you have your bow. Especially for the big, especially for those notes right there on the heel that are really important for bassists to know where those notes are right there, that D against the D and that E against your opening. So, all right, that's it for my first lesson, guys. I hope you learned something, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button. Please like, comment. Like I said, still new channel, still trying out my hand at different types of content. So this is my first lesson, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. And please give me some constructive criticism. Let me know what it is I could do better, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon. Talk to you soon.